The full 2026 NASCAR schedule has leaked, and there's plenty of changes you need to know about. Plus, could bushwhacking return to the NASCAR Xfinity and Truck Series? Welcome back to the Breaking Bob channel. Hope y'all are doing well on this Tuesday night. A lot to get into, as always, as it's Daytona week. The regular season finale is upon us here in the NASCAR world. As always, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing as far as content on a daily basis. NASCAR wise here at Breaking Bob, doing my best to stay a part of the coverage and stay afloat. There's news dropping every single moment. I'm here to tell you, though, today, I agree with Mamba Smith and his play. No, please don't click out of this video. I don't agree with that. I don't have any further comment other than that. Don't agree with it. But no, let's stay on track here. A lot of news to get into, some real rumors to get into, though, as Adam Stern always has his finger on the pulse in the NASCAR world from Sports Business Journal, and he's reporting this morning that bushwhacking could return. Now, bushwhacking? What are you talking about, Bob? Well, the Stern goes into detail about it. NASCAR has been potentially floating the idea of changing their limit of 5 races for NASCAR Cup Series regulars to run in the lower series, both Xfinity and Truck Series. They get 5 races each. NASCAR President Steve O'Donnell even was on the record as such, saying, quote, "We're going to look at who is able to race in the series future as well as maybe some changes down the road. But there's a lot of opportunities to work with the CW and O'Reilly Auto Parts to take it to the next level, so you're operating for really good base, which is awesome. I think we've got a lot of growth ahead of us. You look at all of our series, and we've had limits on, could a Cup Series driver compete? How many races could they compete? So we've certainly had discussions with the CW and in the Truck Series as well. Does this rule stand out about make the most sense to continue as it is? Do we tweak it?" So we're looking at a lot of things over the offseason and talking to a lot of teams and drivers. Kyle Busch, for one, is probably very for this idea. Given it the green light, yes, all for it. Why? Why? We've got a good thing going here. 5 races is the perfect limit. There's only one Cup Series driver at this point in time that's going to max out his eligibility in the Xfinity or Truck Series, and that's Ross Chastain. I think Kyle Larson's at 4, but it's not like you're having guys just itching to race every single week. It's just good seat time for them. It's a good way to every now and then put a driver in there and compete with the young drivers of the Xfinity Series to get them experience rubbing elbows with them, sometimes literally in the example of Connor Zilisch and Shane Van Gisbergen, but it's a good way for them to get that experience, but also letting your stars develop, because you don't want to see, I use the term bushwhacking, it's just back to Kyle Busch back in the day and all those Cup drivers in the late 2000s, early 2010s, where it was 35 drivers at sometimes in the field that were Cup Series regulars. You really had a handful of National Series drivers in those Xfinity Series races specifically. There was Truck Series events as well that had that, but it was just littered with Cup Series regulars to the point where NASCAR had a development problem for years. And you look now at the Xfinity Series, and they're in a great place with a new TV partner in the CW. Over 1 million viewers each race outside of, I believe, one race. I haven't seen the ratings for today or for the last weekend, but the Cup Series, only 1.4 million at Richmond. Xfinity's been doing close to that number all year consistently. They've got a great brand and identity, a lot of young rookies in the sport, great broadcasting crew. Why add more Cup Series drivers? Nobody's asking for that. If there are, maybe I'm not seeing those comments. It just doesn't seem like the most great idea when nobody's asking for this. NASCAR's got a lot of problems as it is. Why would we add one more to that fold? I just don't truly understand it. Maybe I missed something, but let me know your thoughts down below. Do you want to see more Cup Series regulars in the Xfinity and Truck Series, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and Truck Series it's going to be? Or do you think that this is a good limit right now? I mean, I think that in 2020 they changed it from 7 races to 5. They lowered it. I haven't seen an issue with that, but let me know your thoughts down below. Now, although we don't know if that rule will be in effect for 2026, we do know, and this is a heck of a segue, what the NASCAR 2026 schedule will look like. And it's been leaked again by Jordan Bianchi for, the 3rd, 4th year in a row. This guy's got some connections in NASCAR. Pretty good at his job as well, for the most part. Also riles up some fans from time to time. But regardless of that, we've got the NASCAR schedule finally, and there's a lot you need to know, a couple of notable changes, and then one that I'm going to stand on a soapbox here at the end. Let's talk about just a few notable changes to start with. Whereas Homestead is the championship race. Phoenix gone from the championship, in the playoffs still, but Homestead returning to the championship finale race. One-off championship race, by the way. But Homestead will be the if the race last year was any indication, Homestead's going to blow the socks off the championship for 2026. And excited to see NASCAR return to South Florida and Homestead, synonymous with the championship back in the 2000s and the early 2010s. Phoenix hosted the championship for, I believe, 10 years, but it's been time to change things up, unless you're a Penske fan, of course. But Homestead, the new championship race, couple of changes. San Diego, the Coronado Street race and on the naval base on the island out in San Diego, that is in. Chicagoland, the Oval, also back in for the first time in years. With that, 2 races in, 2 races out. Well, sorry, Chicago Street. Course can't have 2 in the city. Chicago Street races out and Mexico City out. Now, NASCAR says they do want to return to those tracks back potentially in 2027 and beyond. But no international race on the calendar for this year in NASCAR. New Hampshire also falling out of the playoffs with Homestead in. So New Hampshire, a one and done for the playoffs in 2025. And also 2 bye weeks in the schedule this year. Look at that. NASCAR being generous to the industry. Look at that. 2 bye weeks for 38 weeks, or 38 races, 38 weeks, 50 total weeks. Math's off there. Hold on. 38 events in 40 weeks. There we go. We got you. We got there. 38 events in 40 weeks. They get 2 bye weeks. So excited for the industry there. It's necessary. It really is. Whether there was going to be an international race or not, they need to give them at least a little bit of time off every now and then. It's just a grind right now, especially the schedule, how it's set up in 2025 with 28 straight weeks, I think it is, something like it. It's a grueling grind this year in 2025. Regardless of that, though, let's talk about the full schedule here. I'll put it on the screen here so you can kind of look at it below. You know, not a lot of changes. Amazon, TNT still get their 5 races. NBC finishing it off, the Daytona finale. Wait, go back up there. Go back. The All-Star race has changed, though. North Wilkesboro is getting a points race. I'm excited for North Wilkesboro. It's going to be really cool. I think this is the 30th anniversary since the last points race in the NASCAR Cup Series back in '96, I believe. So, you know, it's a cool anniversary for them returning to the Southeast, you know, saturating that North Carolina and Carolinas market. I get it at the same time, but in order to do that, you're going to have to change something. And with that, Dover was the one that gets booted and knocked into the All-Star race. And I say knocked into the All-Star race, you're still getting an event, but you had Dover fans already renewing their tickets this year expecting a points race. They've already lost their second race, and now they're getting demoted from a points race to an all-star race. So you've gone from, in 10, 15 years, Dover hosting 2 Cup Series points races to not a single one. Maybe it's just a one-off year, but this is how you kill off a track, respectfully. And, I get that there's a couple of different races kind of in the area. You've got Pocono, you've got Richmond, and, yeah, I get it. But Dover is a track that rare we have concrete ovals. In a world where ovals are dying, you've got the facilities to handle it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe we're at a point now where you can rotate the tracks every couple of years, but until you can consistently do that, this is how you kill off a track. And I don't want to see Dover completely gone from the schedule. But as an all-star race, it doesn't set up for an all-star race. It doesn't race well enough for an all-star race. So maybe I'm misguided here, but not a fan of this change with North Wilkesboro in for Dover as the all-star race. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking for something to complain about. That is naturally what I guess the NASCAR media does the last couple of weeks. Anyway, if you like what you saw, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Breaking Bob channel for more NASCAR content. Let me know your thoughts down below about the schedule 2026, what you think. Will you be at any of these tracks? Where are you going to be at? I'm curious. I'm going to try and make it out to a few of these myself. And of course, Buschwhacking potentially returning to the NASCAR world. Just at the end of Kyle Busch's career. Quite fitting, I guess. Make sure to stay tuned for more content here on the Breaking Bob channel. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.